Morning. What's going on? Like, share, subscribe. This gum is good, man. Like, share, subscribe. Cash App $sign Skywalker 1984, the letter M. Does a lot of work over here to help him out. So last night I kind of came in last night. Towards the we divided up into four segments. Probably the fourth segment, maybe the middle of the third segment. A lot of stuff happened and whatnot. Oh yeah, shout out to Delta Airlines. Their Wi-Fi is absolutely fire, man. I was able to call in while I was taking a flight. No, I wasn't flying to the Gospel of Bob while I was in the air, and they could hear me clearly. So, I thought that was pretty cool. Then apparently there was a dust up between Questions to Ponder and Art over the N-word usage, and it got they were critiquing Art hard. I got to tell you that they were really going in on him. Some people, and he was like, "Well, yo, I mean, I'm hearing something this way. I didn't interpret it as a problem, and so forth and so on." And A&E got a little angry about it. I guess she left or something. And Nasus, Nasus was. Uh, she giving Art some little grief and all that. And I don't know. I mean, Art said something interesting last night. He said, "You got to be on the show to really appreciate the context." There was a lot of energy going on in the show, and I couldn't appreciate it, I guess, because it wasn't live, I guess. You know, Thank God we have these recordings, so at least people can go back and listen and all that stuff. Generally speaking, I thought it was a good show as usual. Uh, Art comported himself well. Chat was going back and forth on different things. It was pretty active. It was pretty active. So, I got a bunch of these clips I got to upload to the shorts. The shorts are kind of a fun way to go just to see the show real quick. There's another kind of software I want to use too, where you get larger clips, if you will, because the shorts are only like, I don't know, maximum 5 minutes, and I think most people have the attention span. This is me included. That doesn't last any longer than 15 seconds. So, you know, I got I got this software that can break down just different segments, and I need to get on that, man. But shout out to everyone that's a fan of Gospel of Bob and all that stuff. So we had a show after, so we went like 9 hours, and then we stopped to start up another stream. Had another show where it was like an open business thing, where the show has to go where we want things to be and whatnot, and it's kind of interesting. Okay, so this show was pretty much the CT overflow. All praises due to the dear leader. Does a great job. I love that show over there. We all do. And then we came over here, and it wasn't intentional, but it just kind of happened that the model we have over here is less about new people and more about the heavy hitters on CT's show. I mean, you could see that for the most part, we don't have that many new people. and we kind of have the same faces, talk about different stuff, laugh and joke. We did pick up this guy named Adam who came off the street. He's the one that kept calling Art Ert, and they're giving him big ups, and that's cool. No, that's fine. But you gotta think. Okay, so we listen to CT, then we come over here. If we still have new people coming up, I mean, that's kind of exhausting, man. Okay. And let's face it, a lot of these people, man, they start coming up like 1, 2 in the morning. You're gonna get drunk people. You're gonna get the nutsos. You get a lot of wild types. I mean, your average, normal, level-headed person probably, unless they're working at night, they're probably really not gonna be up. All right. I'm sure like the Uber passengers at 2 in the morning are different than 2 in the afternoon. You're gonna get a different type of person. And the energy we have on Gospel of Bob, I really like. I mean, it's a smaller community. It's more tight knit community. Those in the chat, um, common names, familiar names, and they're always welcome to come up. But a lot of people just like to stay in the chat, which is fine. Stay in the chat. But I kind of like it. I kind of like it where it's just us. Different shows around the show, different ways of doing things. Chaotic's model is kind of throw your net out wide, see what kind of human beings you can pull in, and have fun with it. But for a late night show, the way things are, and this was all organic. This was not something that we planned on doing. I need to get that out there. This is more like a Lapeef Anton show where limited people on the panel, same people on the panel, and the chat just talks about whatever they talk about. They talk about the show. They start going after each other, what have you. And I think when we start getting super chats, we'll probably have more interaction between the chat and the panel, or the chat can kind of talk to the panel and get recognized. You know, um, but yeah, that's how it was. So this show that became an overflow show kind of developed a new personality of its own, and that's just how things are sometimes. There's nothing. It's enjoyable to watch. It's enjoyable to. It's enjoyable to watch. It's enjoyable to have fun when you have a new bunch come on. Um, and certainly you have the weirdos over at CT's channel who come on and they say the same thing over and over again. They have their shtick and they go on about their lives and things like that. But you got to think, man, when it's 11 at night and you've been watching streams all day, you kind of don't want to introduce new people. You know, it's kind of like you don't want to interview new people at 11 at night, man. Not really. And the show doesn't start popping off till I don't know, maybe 8:30 ish. I don't know. So that's what we got. That's what we got going on. So my hope is to have again limited panelists, unlimited members in the chat, and I think we can do that if we don't screw this up too much. A lot of talk about the kind of word usage and all that. We have to watch that. We have to cut down on the word usage, some of the banned words and whatnot. I don't know. We may get monetized for like a day and then get taken away. So it's important to keep those cash apps on speed cash apps if we can. And I see you guys in the chat. I see 84. It's tough being a content creator. BD said that this show is getting bigger, and we got to get more people monitoring. And I see where the brother's going with it. I do to a limited degree, but it's rare to have a show where you have three people running it who don't have defined times, but take over from each other when needed. Not only that, you have a support system on the panel, people like Bill or BD or something like that, who will, if they're on the panel, they'll take the panel as their own. So um, it's a smaller page, but it's a very closely knit page, if you will. And yeah, I like that. I like that. I think people will come over and subscribe and pay to see it. You know, memberships may be something we're looking at. I don't know. Maybe more interactive kind of things, interviewing. I want to do the longer segments thing. So, yeah, we'll get this together. We'll get this together. Like, share, subscribe. Definitely check out the shorts. I want to see what you guys think about that. The time stamping is helping me in the back, so I can go straight to it. I guess the page, it really is not that good page. This channel really is not that good. We have three people who've slept while on here: American Man, David, and JP. All fell. They all fell asleep at some point on here. Now I get it. It's early in the morning, late at night, but it's funny to have, as great as this place is, people fall asleep on it. Because we're not that interested. Or you've laughed so hard you can't take it anymore. You got to crash. I don't know. So that's kind of what my thoughts are, and the two shows we had last night. Uh, yeah, people feel strongly about something, and I think that however strong you feel about something, if it's just an opinion, then your opinion is no better than somebody else's opinion. But you believe that you're correct, and I'm saying you meaning anyone. I mean, all of us have such strong opinions that we believe it to be fact, and how can someone deny this fact? You know, well, it's really just a very, very, very strong opinion, but it's not a hardcore fact. We understand context of words, uh, or we understand words, then we understand the context of the words, and then we have our own interpretation of the context, and it probably really is kind of a complicated thing when you really get into it. Communication, and how one person can say something, another person can receive it differently, and these are people that all speak the same language. They all speak the same general dialect of that language. There still can be things lost in translation. And what one person can think is totally fine, another person could think is abysmal, you know. And I encourage everyone to run a show just for a day. It's fun, um, but you can make your job a whole lot easier if you're willing just to shut people up. And someone will say, well, Bob, you're being a dictator. Oh, okay. Call it what you want, but we can't keep taking the off ramp because you got to piss. You're either going to have to piss in your diaper or you're going to have to get out of the car. And that's kind of how I see it. Some people come on and they expect the show to operate under their needs to piss. And it's like, well, no, we're going to keep driving. Um, we can pull over and you can drop you off, or you're certainly welcome to jump out of the car. But we're not going to pull over for this. You know, we're not. You know, when and I know I don't want to relate everything to aviation, but when I'm talking on the radio to air traffic control, oh, there's only a limited amount of time I can speak because there may be 15, 20 other guys that are trying to talk to the air traffic controller. So things have to be talked about, things have to be said very efficiently. They're commands. There's not a lot of just idle chatter. There are commands going on. And certainly this show is not we're not in the air. It's not air traffic control talking to airplanes, but there is something to the idea of being aware when you're up on the panel of getting things across efficiently as possible so more people can talk, and more people can talk includes you because someone else is going to get up and talk and you want them to start talking efficiently too. It's really, and some people are long-winded, some people just keep talking. I mean, I don't get that, man. Like, I don't get that. If I'm talking, I am not going to try to take your time from you, and I don't want you to take your time from me. Let's discuss things. Now, there is a time, and well, there's never not a time, I think, for chaos and all that stuff. But sometimes it gets so chaotic that you can't control the chaos. You know what I mean? Oh gosh. But then again, what do I know? I'm just one guy talking. You know, I'm a middle-aged guy, just getting a little angry that the world is changing and I can't control it. I talked to my lady. We're driving, and one of the funny things I'll say is too many damn buttons. You get older, man, you just want the world to work a certain way, and you can't unless you insulate yourself. Which brings me on to my money talk again. That money allows you not to deal with people. I mean, money is very, very direct, and people like that directness when it comes to money. Money is very, very direct, and I think, in fact, we shouldn't say money talks. Money just demands. Is there anything people talk to money? It's not that money talks. You pull out money, people understand what the deal is. Chris Rock had a thing, and I forgot what the full context was, but he was talking about deciding which restaurant to go and how do you handle it. And he says somebody just needs to pull out a gun and shoot up in the air and say, you know what, we're going to Wendy's. And you know what? Everyone will go to Wendy's. Not everyone may like the decision, but everyone's going to Wendy's. You know, you got to get the herd moving. Otherwise, the herd will never move. It'll be scattered. And the same people who say, well, there needs to be leadership. When leadership comes, they get angry at it if it doesn't go their way. I'm not immune from it either. But being both on the content creation side and the audience side, you're more aware of the frustration of both the creator and you and of course of the audience. I lucked out over here because I got two good guys who run it just fine. I trust them with it. They they manage it like I would manage it for the most part. I mean, there may be just little differences in style and whatnot, but I don't think you're going to find many places. I think Fight Club was like this, and those guys, I mean, they had really long hours. They got on hours like ours, actually. Now, the more I think about it, but you know, different moderators, different hosts would come on at different times, and I think that especially for longer shows, I don't see how CT does it. That's kind of what we have over here. Again, we didn't plan it this way, but it just kind of happened that way. So, yeah, that's what we got. So. Oh, I'm still a little tired. I didn't sleep much last night. Um, I don't sleep well when I'm away from my lady and my dogs. All right, this hotel crap can get old fast. And mind you, we stay in some nice ass hotels. I mean, shout out to the company. The company really does pay for some nice hotels. But it's kind of like having your own toilet. You know your own toilet. You know how it feels around your ass. And there may be some nicer toilets out there, but you know your own toilet. You know your own car. You know your own shit. Every man needs his own shit. You know. And I know my own bed. I know how the bed feels. I know how the bed welcomes me. I know how the bed may have an attitude in this little area, that little area, but I know my own bed. Like I don't really get the concept unless you're married or in a serious relationship. I don't get the concept of having roommates. You know, that's why I could never live in like California. It's so damn expensive. You got to have roommates. But every person needs their own space. I almost wish that could be like a constitutional right. Everyone needs their own space. Everyone needs their own shit, and everyone needs to respect other people's crap, just like you want yours respected. The beauty is when you can have your own shit. Other people know it's your shit, but when they have to borrow your shit, they'll take care of your shit. You know, and that to me is how things really get done in a large organization where you know I fly an airplane. That airplane I signed for a particular period of time, but when we pull into the gate and a new crew takes over, I don't leave my trash there. I put the headsets and put the switches and put the maintenance log book. I put it all in the right area. It's the company's airplane, but for the most part, when I hand the aircraft over to another guy, I'm handing over, I'm giving back his shit. And when I take it from another guy, it's my shit. And I hope that he leaves the airplane nice. So the common theme is situational awareness. It's kind of understanding that you know others do exist and to be respectful of that. In addition to that, it's understanding that there's got to be somebody in charge. There's got to be someone in charge. You make the person's job a lot easier if the person's in charge with people who are all on the same page, but someone has to be in charge. And that's where I say to the leader, feel free to use that button. Remove from stage. Let me get you up out of here, CT would say. That's the all great equalizer where you get people back in line. I don't know. The world is one big shit sandwich. We all got to take a bite sometimes, I guess. You just, man, I don't know, man. Just, I like airplanes. I like dogs. If I could have an outdoor dog park by the airport, I may never leave that place again. I'm pretty easy go. I don't need a lot of stuff, man. I don't need much of anything. Bob, what do you do with your money? Like I said, I use it to pay off other people, but I really don't spend that much money. There are people who are save, the people who save, and that's fine. But there's also people who just don't spend money. I'm one of those. There are people who are minimalists because they try to minimize everything. And then there are people like me who just don't buy anything. Well, what am I going to buy? What is something that is so important I must have it? I don't collect anything because that means that's just junk I got to move around. Or you're not moving anywhere. It's still junk that everything in my home I want to have some practical value. I don't like symbolic shit. Oh, that's where I went fly fishing, or here's a picture of me, or this paperweight was given to. Oh, fuck that. That's something I gotta carry now. I gotta deal with that shit, man. Here, you want to get deep this early in the morning? I'll get you deep. You know what giving is? Giving is not taking. I can go for hours on that. Giving is not taking. You want to give to me? Stay the hell out of my way. That's a gift. That is the nicest gift you can give me. But once you involve me, now I become a supporting actor in your play. The supporting actor I didn't ask to be a part of. And I'm not I don't walk around at work, all quiet, hunkered down and whatnot. I don't, I'm affable. I won't say talkative, but it's like, okay, we're gonna have a conversation. Hey, where you been? Hey, where you going? Okay, great. Bye. It's efficient. It moves things along. I mean, it's JQ in the chat. He's in the military. Can you imagine what would happen if we had to sit around and vote on whether or not we're going to take a hill? I don't know. But I must say the people in this channel, we're generally on the same page. Some people may want to go northeast, some people may want to go northwest, but we're all want to head north. All right, it's the people that want to go east and west, and certainly the people that want to go south. That doesn't work. So generally speaking, the herd moves on its own. But for the people who have to actually control it, um, it's a fun headache. I see you, JQ. That would suck. Can you imagine that? Well, I vote that we take the hill between this. Well, I think we should. Well, what about when we eat? I mean, can you imagine somebody wanted to take a lunch break in the middle of a shootout? Incoming, incoming. Oh shit, this is gonna ruin my sandwich time. Can we stop? Can you tell them to stop? I just want to, just have a beer. No, no, they're not going to stop. And even if they were going to stop, no, you shut up and you follow orders. It has to be that way. But the good thing is when you have people who already understand that, you don't have to say that. Everyone gets it. And most people do. And there's always going to be something that kind of bothers you. I think for the most part, if I'm listening to something that bothers me, I just stop listening. But I don't go in there and say, this whole channel now needs to acquiesce to what I think. And there's certainly room for content to question and all that. But when someone starts demanding, hey, this needs to go this way, well, hold on. You're just a, I mean, you're not even an officer, man. You're some enlisted guy. American man, I'm cool. Uh, ah, there's got to be order, man. There's got to be order. There's got to be order, man. In every organization, there's got to be someone who's the dick. You see these organizations where it's so democratic. Well, nothing gets done, man. And eventually, someone will take charge. I mean, chaos breeds some kind of order. Shit, I've been talking for half an hour. Well, that's a lot of hot air, man. I got to turn the air conditioner on in this room, man. It's like hot air in here, man. I was wondering why I was starting to sweat. It's because I'm talking. Guys, like, share, subscribe. Attic show's coming on in a little bit. I'll see y'all over there a little bit later. I'm still tired. I gotta take another nap. I didn't get that much sleep last night. I mean, the show went off at like 3 in the morning and 3:30. It's only 8:30. That's 5 hours. Shit, I need some more sleep. I'll see y'all, man. I enjoyed it as always. Thanks for listening. Talk to you.